Working. Are we live? Yeah, it says we're live. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We're live on this beautiful March 19th, 2025. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm having a great day myself. And as you can hear, we are joined by Mr. Real Texas Politics, MAGA Mao, and Mr. John Rose. The usual suspects.
Yeah, John Fitzgerald
Hello.
Kennedy's head just did that. It just does that
Oh,
from time to time,
gosh.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a lot to talk about. A lot of a lot of stuff to talk about today. The JFK files, the court's being a joke. Some breaking news on the CIA.
Tim Walz is rooting for an American corporation to fail because
Tim Walz running for president, more than likely. A lot happened. A lot's going on. So let me share the stream. Hold on. Live now. Let me click this. Share link. Yeah. Okay. There we go. We're live. Yeah, we got the link out. All right. So now, before we continue with today's stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, best way is sending super chats via the chat.
Favorite real American, Rap himself. He's such a real American. He has real American in his name.
That's
Let
real.
that sink.
Alright, so there's a lot to talk about today. Again, share with everybody on Twitter and stuff. Let's get people watching the stream.
Yeah, and if anyone wants, I'm just putting out a public service announcement. If anyone wants a free copy of the new Donald Trump Jr. book, I will mail it to you. I'm never gonna read this, but they gave it out free after this event.
Wait,
So
what?
just feel free to. Yeah, I went to the event in Oconomowoc on Monday.
Oh, you went to that? Okay.
Yeah, and they gave out this book at the end. I'm never gonna read Liberal Privilege, Joe Biden and the Democrats
Privilege.
of the Independent. So if anyone wants it free, I'll mail it to you guys.
That's like the most boomer book I've ever heard.
I know. So
this is coming from the same guy that wrote a book called Triggered, so
that's fair enough.
Yeah, if anyone wants it, they can have it. I'm never gonna read it. So
alright, so a glitch
you're Lou Gagnon is the rhino for not reading Donald Trump Jr.'s
that's
book.
real.
So true.
Alright, a glitch Evie for if you want to get the book, just contact Luke on Twitter and you can contact him. So a glitch Evie for 2, can't believe Harry Sisson isn't gay. Oh yeah! I think he took the joke to heart and everyone
He
probably
took
knows.
it too far.
Actually, wasn't he involved in his own leakings?
I think so.
Dude, he manufactured the whole scandal to destroy the allegations.
So you're telling me that your people call him gay, so your response
Okay, fine. He's not okay. Fine, he's not a homosexual, but he's still a bisexual.
He's a creep. No, the best shit though is let me find the one message I'll post it.
Wasn't he? But wait, I thought a girlfriend. So he's cheated on his girlfriend already?
Yeah, basically what he does is he tries rizzing up like a shit ton of girls on like Snapchat or some shit, like at the same time.
You see what Rufus said about him?
Like, look at.
I can't show that. I mean, that's.
No, it's just the face, though, dude. The face.
That's the new. That's a meme
right there. That's a new template. Oh my gosh. So yeah, he was. So again, like, listen. The joke is people call him gay because of the way he acts and stuff, but he took it to heart, I think, and yeah.
Well, he's probably still dating Chris Lowry or Mowry, whatever the fuck his name is. But maybe he's in a threesome. I don't know. Okay,
Dean Withers, is it like a threesome? Because Dean Withers is in
knows? All right, K cut for 5. Breaking local circuit judge rules Trump and Elon bringing back the astronauts were unconstitutional and ruled they must shoot them back into space.
They have to go back.
Listen, with how bad the judges have been, guys, it got worse somehow. The freaking last night we have what's even the word to describe this? we have a big problem in this country, and I know that's not a surprise to anybody, but
resist lib judges.
This is getting bad. So
they run solely on owning Blumph, and yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, and also to quote Gert Wilders, "We haben in serious problem."
Yeah,
you know, it's
true.
When even Buchel's making fun of it, it's like, yeah, that's when you have foreign leaders making fun of American courts.
It's Bukele. Stop calling
Bukele.
him
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Bukele.
It's Bukele. Excuse me. Yeah. So, for those that don't know, yesterday there was like I think 5 judges. They did some shit. Right here it says 4, but there was one more after. So here's some of the things they did last night. Elon Musk must reinstate USAID workers. Trump to state disclose when and where fights left with terrorists. Reinstatement of transgenders to the military, and reinstatement of the Department of Education grants. Yeah, just in one day. These judges did all this in one day.
So basically, undo every single thing that Trump has done so far.
But the biggest disgrace is the military stuff, and this is where it gets kind of scary, because we're talking about foreign policy. We're talking about military policy. We're not talking about some random thing. Trump is a commander-in-chief. Does anyone dispute this? Well, does anyone dispute this with the brain?
I swear, I wouldn't be shocked if one of these judges ruled that Trump's like an illegitimate president for breaking the court orders or something.
So, John, thanks for posting this. This should tell everyone what's going on. So, this is about
they obviously think he's they obviously think he's illegitimate because of like the 14th Amendment and like insurrections and that sort of stuff.
So, for those that don't know, this is the amount of injunctions imposed by district court judges, and John posted this, and you may notice something very apparent. Anyone notice anything? In just what, 2 months? Yeah, 2 months he's been president, right? Right? Yeah, 60 days. Yep. And so far he's had 96 96 injunctions imposed in 2 months. For the entirety of Bush's term, he had 6. Obama, 12. Biden, 14. For Trump's entire first term, he had 64. So in just 2 months, there's been 96 injunctions. And basically every single injunction came from the opposing party.
Yep. And then the rest are Republicans, but like Reagan Republicans.
Yeah, it's like the old ass, like, Republicans from 50 years ago. That doesn't count.
Those are like your Kinzingers, your Cheneys, your...
Yeah.
I'm a Ronald Reagan paleocon.
Oh, gosh. Alex Maddox for 5. Harry assistant equals girlfriend in the relationship.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, you literally have like a principled conservative Rick Wilson calling to basically...
I gotta pull that up.
That literally called for like terrorism against Tesla.
Yeah, before we get to the court stuff, we gotta talk with the Rick Wilson thing. So, because for those that don't know, Rick Wilson is the guy from the Lincoln Project. He's
a principled Republican.
Yeah, he's a.
Oh
wait, did the tweet get taken down?
Wait, did Lincoln Project have another PDF scandal?
No. Well, they probably did, but they took it down. Twitter took it down. Oh, come on!
Well, I mean, Elon Musk still technically kind of runs it, so,
Rick Wilson, Tesla, because this is what he posted. There's gotta be a screenshot here. Yeah, right here. Eric Daughtry, he posted this. So thank God for Eric Daughtry. And Tyrone joined, hello.
Damn, I was waiting to announce it myself.
Alright, so, yeah, Rick Wilson, the principled conservative, he posted this. Alright, kill Tesla, save the country. And look at the picture he posted.
That's the Tesla explosion that happened in front of Trump Tower, which was supposed to probably be an assassination attempt, but obviously Trump wasn't there.
So you have Rick Wilson promoting this crap on a shitty Substack. For starters, Rick Wilson is a Substack. I didn't even know that.
Really? Respectable Republicans, everyone.
Pretty much every resist lib and like every resist lib influencer has a Substack.
Why? What's the appeal?
That's Substack's kind of probably like the main source of news for resist libs.
Yeah, but there's some good ones on there's some good ones on Substack, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I wrote some stuff on there when
it's
for like
nice,
a college
but like
class.
I don't get why everyone's like, oh, I got a shitty Substack. Now go subscribe to it.
I think I wrote some stuff on Substack for a college class.
That's a meme on like right-wing Twitter, everyone.
I subscribe to only quality Substacks. Like Downrange Data and Current Revolt. By the way, everyone here should subscribe to Current Revolt on Substack and Twitter.
You have a Substack?
Current Revolt? Yeah.
I did not know that.
You're telling me you're not subscribed to Lee Zeldin-Stan's Substack?
Oh, gosh.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so anyways, this is Rick Wilson. He is promoting this crap. And, well, everyone knows what's happened the past couple of weeks. I mean, there's been fire bombings of Teslas. You know, there's been people get swatted. Some guys got shot. It's like, this is nuts. It's like, they're escalating even further. It's like, why? Is this all because they lost 2024? Is this what it comes down to? They lost one election, and now they're, like, losing their shit?
Pretty much. Like, let's not forget, these were the people who were burning down cities in 2020.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
Like, stop acting like it's a surprise. I get J6 happens, so people, like, have this weird thing where they think, like, the right are the only people who can be violent. And it's like, no, it's not true. Like, we had that entire summer where they burned, like, cities to the ground, and now everyone kind of memory hold it.
Yeah. A glitch Eevee for 2, ad speed frequent, yet generated less revenue. Yeah, I want to touch upon that a little bit. So YouTube's making a dumb change, and it may impact their revenue a lot, so just be warned by that. I don't know what they're doing. They're like saying, oh, we can't have ads because reasons. It's like a change going to effect soon. So I'm hoping that YouTube changes that, because some creators are complaining like it's cut the revenue in half. It's like, yeah, can we not? But yeah, thanks for the super chat. All right. So, yeah, the whole Tesla thing, like, can they start arresting people? Have they?
Yeah,
I mean, they technically have, but
they have arrested multiple, and they said the Department of Justice said that they're going to be looking for, very strict federal charges. Like the starting point for the sentencing is going to be 5 years in prison, and going beyond that. And so all we can hope, and what I hope for, because I believe in a kind of deterrent justice, is that these prosecutions are made as public as possible so people know the consequences. The Democrat Party, like I said yesterday and last week, has become the party of domestic terrorism, and they will not stop until they feel as though there are actual consequences to their actions.
So I want to touch upon this. Like, this is getting dangerous, what's actually happening. I don't care who you are. We cannot live in a society where half the country wants the other half dead. You just can't. And that's what's happening. They want, well, not even, I don't even think they're half anymore. They're like 20, 30% at this point. Like these radicals and left. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, these people are nuts. It's like they want to firebomb Tesla. It's just like that shitty website out there trying to go after Data Republican's husband. It's like, what the hell's going on here? This is just insane.
Yeah. I don't know if we talked about that in detail, but essentially they made a Doge tracker website for Teslas. And at the end of the day, they even have people that don't own Teslas on the tracker website. It's like the premise is, oh, here's all the Tesla owners. They're evil people. Go, vandalize their cars or wreck their houses or, threaten the lives of their families or something. Again, insane people. But they put people that they just don't like on the Doge tracker so that those people's houses and cars would be vandalized and potentially their families threatened. This is the most insane shit that the Dems have done. I understand it's not surprising. I understand we could have seen this from like back during the Summer of Love, but holy shit, this is just like beyond the pale of anything they've done before.
I mean, yeah, they've always like, they've always like sent like shitty memes in response. But now it's like they're actually violent. These people are actually violent, and it's like we're not talking about random people. It is people like Data Republican. Like her husband has like I don't know, like a business in Utah or something. I don't know.
Distillery.
Yeah. And it's like they're like, oh, go to that address. What's the worst that can happen? It's and like the icons that got Molotov cocktails. Like, what do you think they're trying to get people to do? It's so obvious. They're not even hiding it. And then like you got Cash Patel. I mean, I guess his address is there. Big Balls is there too from Doge. It's like, why? All because you lost.
Are under attack.
You lost one election. That's why.
All because Elon Musk did a little thing with his hand after a rally.
And the worst part about this is the Democrats. They're not even saying anything about it. They're not even they're not even trying to condemn. In fact, they're pushing for more of this crap.
Well, yeah, I mean, you had Jimmy Kimmel sarcastically say, "Please don't vandalize Tesla's." Wink, wink.
Yeah, and his crowd's going nuts. Like his freaking like 50 people that watch him, which again they're all old ass white people. It's like
you got Tim Walz rooting for Tesla to go out of business.
Yeah, an American company, one of the biggest companies in America.
I guarantee. I mean, again, he is a sitting governor of a state. if Tesla wanted to build a factory in Minnesota, he would flat out say no.
Yeah.
In fact, if Tesla already has a factory, he'd probably just kick him out.
Yeah, because the environment or something.
Well, because they're a Nazi company, and that's illegal to operate in Minnesota.
I think the really big thing, if we're going to talk about this, it's really important for everybody listening to understand. You cannot just say, "Oh, well, this is just random people doing it. Oh, this is just Democrats, like, on the ground doing it." There's no blame for the politicians or for the media. No, not only is the media stoking and encouraging this and never condemning it, but the politicians have been going like day in and day out. Some of the most famous political figures in the Democrat Party for the past decade have been condoning violence and actually encouraging violence. I mean, go back and look at anything Maxine Waters has said for the past 10 years, and it usually sounds like, some sort of like terrorist manifesto. It's really bad. And there has been no brakes on the pedal for this. And ultimately, the only way that this stops, the only way that the media machine actually starts being sane again, is if the people that they work for, the Democrat congressmen, lose their jobs. So it's just really important that people understand that. And this doesn't stop until they lose even more power. That's the point I want to make.
All right. K Comfort 2. Judge rules a firebomb is fine because of my rights. Yeah, where I'm not, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Walk Talk for 5. Demand we see the rap files. I want to know if he is a real Badgers fan or if he's a Buckeyes plant with ties to Notre Dame and Michigan football. No, I'm a Badgers fan. Though I have nothing against Buckeyes, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Nothing really against them. But yeah, thanks for super chat. But yeah, so Chad is saying like the only one that really said anything was Rokana. Like the only one that actually like disavowed this, which I'm not really surprised.
And for that, he'd probably get punished in a primary.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's one of the Democrats. Like, I don't know. I don't know why the guy just doesn't like be more honest about his stances. Like, dude, just be honest. It's like I know you have to like survive like your party being deranged, but dude, come on. Anyways, let's see. Dre, Jimmy Kimmel to court. Yeah, was it Jimmy Kimmel that did that? It's like, oh yeah, don't do anything to Teslas. Wink, wink. Did he do that, or was that the other guy?
That was Kimmel.
Okay, that's what I thought. But
I don't think that they can stick him for it, but he absolutely should face a day in court, and he should be forced to be shamed over it. So,
I mean, if ABC had balls, we should fire him, but they're not going to. So,
it's Disney.
Yeah, which is, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, speaking of the judge stuff, can we talk about the transgender thing? What one of the judges used as evidence or as a reasoning for her decision? So, listen, when I first thought I saw this, I thought this was fake. But apparently, a district judge ordered the U.S. military to continue enlisting transgender troops is justifying her ruling by quoting the musical Hamilton. She quoted Hamilton. I'm not even kidding, by the way. It's like actually in here. Let's see. Yeah. Right here. She quoted Hamilton. Right next to the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Look at this shit. When passage of the 19th Amendment granted them the right to vote in 1920, see Lin-Manuel Miranda Hamilton, an American musical, 2016. She mentioned that before the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution. We are really ran by theater kids.
By the power invested in me, by the musical Hamilton, I declare men in dresses.
D&D.
What?
This is bad.
This is freaking insane.
Look, I mean, at this point, Congress really does need to step in. The only way that they can really step in, obviously, an impeachment requires a 2/3 majority, but that by a simple majority, they can do court stripping. And that just simply says, hey, nationwide injunctions by random district court judges, that's not a thing.
Oh, really? They just need a majority?
They need a simple majority to do court stripping. The reason that this isn't going to solve everything, but they still need to do it because they need to make a stand against the judicial branch for this extreme overreach of power. But the reason it won't do anything is that once we pass it through Congress and the Senate, The Supreme Court will block it, as Chief Justice Roberts has already postured.
That guy, which they're looking more into it. It's like, dude, the thing he did with the whole statement yesterday is very shady, but we'll get to that in a minute.
But it's
Breaking news! Breaking news! Judges do not want to lose their over fucking encroached power that they've historically taken away from the executive. More 11.
Right.
Well, at the end of the day, Tyrone, doing this specific court stripping wouldn't affect Chief Justice Roberts specifically on the surface. It only affects him on the underbelly of this disgusting beast.
No, what the people...
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot about how the legislative has overtaken a lot of the powers of the executive, which, for the record, yes, no, the legislative has taken the most power of any branch. We no longer have fucking, who was it, Montesquieu, who talked about the separation of powers? It's been a hot minute since I've looked at my history notes. But we don't have a proper balance of powers anymore. It's a miracle we have any proper balance of powers to sort of still kind of asterisk. The legislative has definitely taken a shit ton of power from the executive. The executive has not been particularly strong since Carter willingly gave up a bunch of shit to Congress in the aftermath of Nixon's presidency. But one thing I see under discussed is how much power the judiciary has over the executive office, especially with this ability. Like I'm sorry, we cannot have 4+ years of Trump and Vance doing what they need to do if these random fucking circuit judges are capable of putting, like, Trump was elected by popular vote, not just by electoral, but popular vote. So yes, it's absolute bullshit that an unelected bureaucrat in the form of a circuit judge, nominated, by the way, by a Democratic president, especially in areas like the Northeast and the West Coast, can put the entire fucking administration on hold, and they have to litigate and battle this shit for fucking years in the court, and nothing gets fucking done. And the moment that a Democrat president gets fucking elected, these judges just automatically expedite the process for them. Like, our judicial system is so fucking comically corrupt.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. No, it's not a laughing matter. Like with Congress, you could point and laugh and say, yeah, look at these fucking idiots. Because, yeah, no, there are idiots in Congress. Look at fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene, AOC. Look at anyone in the squad. Or
look at McConnell. He can't hear anything now.
Yeah, look at half the fucking people in the House Freedom Caucus, the fucking DSA. Look at some of the older people in the Senate and the House. Yeah, no, the legislature's a fucking joke. No wonder we're able to just fucking defang them. People who are in the legal system, though, as justices and judges, they've been doing that game for decades. Some of the older people have been sitting in position of judgeships for literally since there are people who are circuit judges and district judges who have been judges since Reagan. Jeez. Almost, if not, literally 40+ years at this point. And these are the people fucking taking down Trump. I'm not going to say, put term limits on judges or something like that, because, I mean, if you know me, I'm fundamentally opposed to term limits in general. But there is widespread systematic corruption within the judiciary, and Trump has to do something about it, or else anything he fucking does at all is just going to be indubitably and definitely delayed.
Yeah. By
this bullshit ass judicial system.
I mean, this is insane. And like the judges are saying, "Oh, Pete Hegseth, you have to say this." It's like, since when did a judge have the right to do this? And now they're controlling he's not the commander in chief now. That's what they're basically saying. I mean, I
apologize for the soliloquy, but also this wouldn't be a string with Tyrone if it weren't me going on a soliloquy.
All right, breaking.
Well, it also is like the title of the stream, so you're probably.
American Nerd for 5. Breaking the HQ of the CIA is under lockdown for reports of a man opening fire outside. Stranger this happened one day after JFK files dump. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. That's pretty big news. K-Cup for 5. These judges are actively trying to keep criminals and drugs in our country. Reinforces Trump's statement of, they're not after me, they're after you. Yeah, he's right.
The thing is that they would probably, whenever Trump gets no tax on tips passed,
they're gonna strike that down in 2 seconds. Watch.
They would strike it down and basically order those tips to be taxed.
And speaking
of, here's the thing. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if Trump won the popular vote because he still didn't win a majority. So technically, to these people, Harris is the real winner because.
But she didn't even win. She took second.
Remember, remember, guys, when Republicans steal election, it's a threat to democracy. When Democrats steal an election, it's protecting and reinforcing democracy.
That's real.
Democracy is when I get the results I want. When I don't get the results I want, it's corrupt. It's corrupted. It's wicked. But when I get the results that I want, even if it's by undemocratic methods, it's protecting the people. And by the people, I mean transgender immigrants who import millions of fucking hard drugs and murder people a year.
Well, I mean, this judge, I think she's like an immigrant from like Uganda or something. The judge that ordered the Hamilton thing. Let me pull this up. I'm not even kidding, by the way.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We shouldn't have immigrants should not be in charge of anything in the government, quite frankly.
Yeah, she is okay. I don't know if I cannot confirm how real this is, but apparently she is a lesbian immigrant from Uruguay, studied in Hamilton to ensure transgenders could serve in the military. She's a lesbian immigrant.
Oh, of course she's a lesbian. I mean, lesbians are usually always Broadway fanatics, so that makes sense.
Insane. You have an immigrant from Africa. That's a lesbian decided.
Uruguay
or Uganda?
Oh, sorry, South America. Excuse me.
Yeah, Uruguay is in South America.
Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, so the whole thing is just nuts. I mean, and at this point, though, it's like, what else could Trump really do? Outside of, like, tell these courts to fuck off, what can he really do?
Well, if he told the courts to fuck off, then he'd be impeached. You get Al Green back on the floor with his fucking, like, 69th Al.
His 70th impeachment. Does that guy do anything but, like, pass impeachment?
I'll be back in a bit.
All Al Green does is wave his stupid cane around and file an article of impeachment every fucking week.
Yeah. But yeah, so, like, honestly, like, my take has been just ignore the courts and then get the DOJ after them. That's been my take. I know the DOJ still has problems, but...
I feel like, honestly, I feel like Democrats would just root for Vance because then they think that they could install Harris as president because Trump is being a dictator or something. I don't know.
Like, if the DOJ could prove there's corruption, which, let's be honest, guys, that's what's happened here. All these judges pulling this shit, they're all paid off by the Dems. They're all in bed with the Dems. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, Al Green AOC 2028 make California competitive again. That's real.
Al Green's in like his 80s, so I don't know about that. But
yeah, so the whole thing of the courts, I mean, at this point, I think the best option is ignore them. But again, like, so, like, John, what's the thing for a simple majority in the for the Senate?
Right. So they can do court stripping, and what that essentially means is that there are specific judicial powers or jurisdiction that can be taken away from these judges, and so it's not some sort of like one trick pony where you can just completely destroy a judge's power. But what it essentially does is say, hey, look, listen, Congress is explicitly declaring you do not have jurisdiction here. You cannot do any sort of oversight on this issue. And like I said, I mostly want it to be done because it would be Congress stepping behind the president and saying, hey, we're protecting your legitimate right to actually execute the laws of this country. Where you are not beholden to activist judges. You actually get to do your job. It would be a really important thing framing up what we're about to do in this fight against the judiciary. And the reason I say it like that is because, as I said earlier, it can't really do anything right now because Chief Justice Roberts, has postured that he will, in fact, go against Trump if they choose to continue this action. So it's really scummy thing that Roberts is doing. I think Roberts should honestly just really be held accountable for this in whatever way that's possible.
Well, there's other stuff that came about that statement he put out, and it's not good. We'll get to that in a minute, though.
Okay.
Tomato for 2, ban theater, ban etc. for all public schools. I don't know about that. M for 5, what Roberts said was completely inappropriate. He's acting like a politician. Impeachment is a constitutional remedy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane what he said.
I've been living under a rock a few days. What did Robert say?
We'll get to that. Glitch Evie for 2.
Okay.
Crockett / L Green 2028. That ticket will get like negative electoral votes, I think.
Al Green's just gonna stay in Congress till he dies. But
yeah, so
I don't know. Crockett might. I don't know if she's actually gonna run for president. I mean, she could run for Senate or something. I don't know.
So okay, let me pull John Roberts' statement because this is completely inappropriate for a Supreme Court justice to say this, especially the Chief Justice. John Roberts.
How dare Trump do this or something? I don't know what the fuck he said.
Let me pull this up. Where is it? John Roberts' statement. Where the hell is it? Statement. Did it get deleted? No, it can't.
No, multiple accounts.
I'm trying to find it. I'm not finding it whatsoever. Am I like blind or something? Let's see. Okay, found it. Found it. So, this is what John Roberts said a couple days ago. Let me pull this up. Yeah. So, for those that live under a rock, this is exactly what John Roberts said. I put this in chat. So, he said, and I quote, "For more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision." Roberts said in a statement distributed by the Supreme Court's Public Information Office, "The normal appellate review process exists for that purpose." This is what the Chief Justice said. For starters, what the hell is he talking about? It's not a appropriate response. What? What do you mean? So you said impeachment's bad? Is that what he's saying? It's like, oh yeah, impeachment is bad because...
Impeachment bad because democracy.
Yeah. I mean, this is the Chief Justice saying this, guys. This is not some random Joe on the street. This is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. That's who's supposedly this principled conservative saying this crap. And Nari for 5, plot twist, Trump complies with the judge for Venezuelan gangsters' return. Executive order sends him to the judge's front yard. Hey, you should do that. To drop them off right in front of his yard. Like, good luck. Have fun. But yeah, anyway, so John Roberts, he put out this statement, which is just insane. But someone dug into it. And Sean Davis, he looked more into it, and it's very, well... To say this is pretty bad is an understatement. So Sean Davis, he looked into it, and apparently he did not put out an official statement on the SCOTUS website. What he did was he leaked his statement to left-wing media outlets.
Yep.
Listen, it's one thing to put out an official statement everyone could see. What he did, he specifically chose which outlets got the information.
So we basically have a liberal majority on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are because guys, John Roberts and Coney Barrett, they hate Trump. Let's cut the shit. They hate him. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Coney Barrett, the only reason you're on the Supreme Court is Trump. Like you should be thanking him, but no. She has this derangement against Trump, and we saw this a couple of weeks ago, right at the State of the Union. I mean, she looked like she hated him. It's like, what are you doing? So, yeah, John Roberts and Coney Barrett, they're scumbags. They are lying scumbags. And we don't got a conservative majority. We don't. Like, say what you will about Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. They have some shitty decisions, especially Kavanaugh. But he would never do anything like this. His decisions just suck on, like, principle or something. John Roberts and Barrett, they just hate Trump. They just hate his guts. So, this is what we got to deal with. And I don't know how do you deal with this? If you have... Oh, go on.
Well, the judge's jurisdiction is restricted by the Constitution to what would be classified as good behavior. So, what would be an example of a judge misbehaving? And I think the main way to prove that is by the DOJ beginning investigations into all of these judges that have spoken up and have gone into explicitly trying to prevent the executive from doing their role. And it'll be controversial, it'll be deeply contentious, but at the end of the day, if the investigations prove that there is a money trail from Chief Justice John Roberts all the way down to these current movements the executive is taking, whether it's USAID or immigration services, refugee resettlement, either way, there's a money trail going on here, and if you can prove the money trail, and maybe Chief Justice Roberts is just completely clean. Either way, he's not going to be able to complain when we find all of the connections that we've already found with many of these judges, either their wives working for refugee resettlement things, or their wives being part of
a
USAID.
quotation.
Well, yeah. So at the end of the day, I think if the DOJ proves the money trail for all these things and then puts it on the record that the Congress should be able to basically be able to remove these judges by that specific part of the Constitution saying that they have to be acting under good behavior. Bad behavior definitely is when you're being bribed to make certain decisions. Would you not agree?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's clear that they're all paid off. Every single one of these judges, they have ties to USAID, which I thought they're supposed to recuse themselves. I thought that this is a big thing. Remember Barrett in 2020? Oh, I have to recuse myself. Remember that? To screw Trump over?
No.
But now it's like all these judges, they have their wives are USAID. They have clear biases in these cases, and they're not recusing themselves. Themselves, really? And no one cares. No one cares about this. Clarence Thomas has major back and knee problems with carrying the Supreme Court. Yeah, I mean, it's Thomas and Alito. They're the only good ones. Well, Gorsuch is pretty good, but still. What were you saying, John?
No. I wasn't saying anything, and I completely agree with everything you've been saying, though.
Okay.
It's just, it's a shame that we've come to this point. And nobody, like, we shouldn't have to live in a country where the judges control the government and over the legislative and executive. And again, it's one of those things where we have these constant conversations about, well, what does democracy really even mean anymore? Like, and a lot of people point out the fact that it's become an incredibly nebulous term, and nobody really has any idea what it means. But I think the meaning that Vice President Vance is being put forward when talking to the Europeans and everyone else is, well, we're going to say that when we say democracy, we mean that with informed consent, the people vote for certain policies, for certain things to happen, and that the government does its best in good faith to enact the will of the people. I think that's what we're trying to say that democracy is. And as of right now, we don't have one in the United States so long as these dictators in robes are running around. So,
all right, K count for 2, but rap. Thomas the corrupt judge, but scandal. The funny thing is, remember that shitty website they had for, like, the amount of donations they got? Thomas is like 8th or whatever. It's like number 1 is I think, was it Sotomayor? She had like the most like gifts or whatever. It's like, I mean, it's so obvious. They always attack Thomas because he's the most conservative guy. That's why. That's the real truth in it. It's not, oh, they care about corruption. They don't. Because if they did, they would worry about Sotomayor. M for 5. My main concern is who chose ACB. They can't have any power in the future. She's a Karen, basically. Yeah. She's a freaking Karen, even though Trump put her in that position. Again, I know, like, you shouldn't rule for Trump just because he appointed you in there, but it's like, she hates him. She absolutely hates Trump for no reason. What? Because he's, like, to me, she's like a Harris voter. Like an old white resist liberal. It's just a scam. Apparently we have another injunction that was just passed. Hold up. Let me find this. Yeah, so a judge grants a 24-hour stay in the Aliens Enemies Act, but taking several swipes at the Trump administration, and the judge also notes that it doesn't matter what appellate court does, re-underline original. What? Wait, what? So is he basically telling the courts to go fuck themselves?
Oh, let me take a look at the statement.
Like, yeah, I gotta pull this up. Because I'm a bit confused by this. I might have misread it. But
I don't think I've read this statement.
It just came out like 10 minutes ago or whatever. The court seeks factual information, blah, blah, blah. Whether these tiers are... What? So is he just trying to, like, say he has all the power? I don't get it. I don't get, like, anything that's being said here. How many divisions does he have? What? Were there any other good choices at the time Trump chose ACB? There was one in, like, Florida, I think. There was like a Cuban judge. That was pretty good.
Like, if you're looking for someone to be upset about, there is one person who promised Donald Trump that if he picked Amy Coney Barrett in 2020, that there would be no problems, that the Congress would move very swiftly to get her into power, securing the conservative majority for the Supreme Court, and that person is about to retire. I don't know if you know his name. He goes by Mitch McConnell.
Mitch the bitch.
Yeah.
That's
so
what he is.
He may not be the primary actor here, but he did go to Trump and he promised. He's like, I promise before the election we will get Amy Coney Barrett in there very quickly. That was McConnell's promise to Trump if he picked Barrett.
Yeah. So that's what we got to deal with. Rap, when do you think Trump will go full Andrew Jackson? He already kind of has. He's kind of just saying, "Oh, we didn't get the order. It got lost in the mail somewhere. We didn't read the email." That's kind of what he's doing. It's like we're not seeing it.
And there hasn't been an explicit rejection of what the judges have been doing. They've been playing it very safe. And as you guys can tell, and this is something I was trying to point out yesterday, they're picking their battles very carefully.
Yeah.
They're basically trying to pick battles where judges look the absolute worst possible and they look as righteous as possible. Like, we're protecting the American people. Judges are trying to keep pedophiles and rapists in the country. Like, that's what we're trying to do right now. And we're trying to make sure that every time we get into a battle, that it's just like, at the very least, a Pyrrhic victory for the judicial system. We're trying to do a lot of damage to their credibility, and for good reason. It's because they have too much power.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna pick the Venezuelan fight. That's the easiest one to win. That's I don't know why Democrats thought that was a good idea, but go right ahead. Protect the Venezuelan gangs that killed how many people? How many people has that group killed in America?
More than had died in World War II.
Jesus. M for 5, base Cuban lady versus upper class wine mom Karen. I think Barnes saw this coming. Yeah, he was right. Barnes 100% right on that. It was a Cuban judge from like Miami or something. And she was actually pretty good. So. But yeah, now we got stuck with this. And I don't like using the word Karen because it's always overused. But that's what she is. She's a freaking Karen. It's like, why? You're supposed this conservative judge, you're principled, yet you're allowing this crap to happen, where it's like, we can't deport anybody, you can't do anything? Really? That's the principled conservative? McConnell being that supportive should have been a dead giveaway, ACB would be a problem. I mean, Gorsuch was a good pick, but yeah, anyways. But yeah, so we got some breaking news out of the CIA as a little while ago, police and SWAT respond to an armed gunman at the CIA headquarters hours after the JFK files were released. So, yeah, they had a deranged individual, and I don't think there's any updates yet. I don't get... Hold on. CIA HQ. Pull this up. Yeah, so it's locked down. It's, yeah, a male suspect shot was shooting his gun. It doesn't sound like anyone got hurt, though. So, that's good. Alright, yeah, so shots fired at the CIA HQ. Which, speaking of that, I think it's time we talk about the bombshell that dropped last night. Who wants to start the JFK files?
How did you guys not know?
What?
His head just did that.
Yeah, his head just did that, yeah. Yeah. So, I'm gonna say this right off the bat, the narrative's bullshit. The original narrative they pushed was bullshit. That's one first thing I'm gonna say. Now, there's still a lot of questions to answer. I think there's still like 20,000 documents still to be released, right? There's like, it was
right.
80,
so
yeah.
they released a batch of what it looks like to be like, what was it, 1,800 documents
Yeah, so it was.
something, 12 to 1,800 documents yesterday, and then like a couple hours before, like right before I was going to sleep, they released another 1,000 documents.
Yeah, and these are each PDF files, and it totals like 60,000 pages of those two batches, like total pages.
Yeah, it's pretty long, longer than the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, so people have been reading into it, and there's 20,000 more to be released. I have a gut feeling that the rest of them, they're pretty bad, and that's why they're holding them back. But I have a gut feeling.
Back when Kash Patel talked, he talked about this on the podcast of that one venture capitalist guy. I forget what his name is. But Kash Patel is basic. The minority looking guy. The minority looking guy. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Gosh.
I don't remember.
Like
He's like the mystery meat ethnicity. I can't really pinpoint him down.
Gosh.
No, he's an Iranian Christian. That's what he is.
But
didn't he
he's
run like a
Persian.
pyramid?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, didn't he run like a pyramid scheme for a while? No, he's not an atheist. He's like, well, who knows? He's a con artist with a lot of stuff he does, so he might be BSing about the Christian
but
stuff.
anyways, the current acting director of the FBI, Kash Patel, he said on that guy's podcast basically that, like, there's nothing in the JFK files that we wouldn't have already been able to piece together ourselves. Based off of what I read, I spent about 2.5 hours last night reading through just random pages, just for fun, because I'm old. And the thing that I found that was just interesting to me was simply that, well, number one, the CIA was well aware of Oswald's activity in the Soviet Union. And we knew that he was given special privileges in the Soviet Union. He was allowed to live there. He was allowed to have his wife. He's allowed to basically have a new life in the Soviet Union. Basically pure defectionist. And they gave this order that was called a 201. That was like the discrete number to watch over Oswald. But after they finished their research under that specific directive, there was no follow-up requested or required by the agents involved. So to me, that says, like, you could either draw that up to sheer incompetence, and be like, well, they were too stupid to keep following up on Oswald, or you could do like the feigned negligence, where they knew Oswald was a problem, but they just kind of completely ignored him, and they're just like, well, who cares,
Yeah.
Maybe you shoot the president, hey, whatever, man.
American Nerd for
life
5.
is life.
I think that the other two picks other than ACB were Allison Jones Russian and Barbara Lagoa. I think it's safe to say they would have been better. Yeah, there were some good picks, we didn't. So, a glitch 80 for 2, 63,000 pages so far, and there's 80,000, so there's 20,000 still to go. And I think about the whole JFK stuff. Again, I didn't read through every file because I'm not reading 60,000 pages in one night. No. But it's clear as day that the original narrative is bullshit. There's way more to the story.
There is one really interesting piece of info that's a couple friends dug up, and one of them primarily was the files say that the assassination happened in November, but there's a file saying that the Soviet Union warned the United States federal government of Oswald's activity in August, 3 months prior.
Yeah, so I saw that.
Yeah, so that's a deeply interesting point, and it really continues to add to like the concept. I really don't think there's like a giant story here. I agree that the narrative is false. Obviously, like, why would you spend all these decades covering up this crap? But to me, it seems like if the feds did anything, it seems like they just let Oswald do it.
Yeah.
Or they just didn't care if the president got shot. I don't know.
So my current take on this, and listen, this is, again, there's more documents to be released. I've not read everything. Is it sounds like this guy's a fanatic in Cuba and Russia. That's what we know now. We know that he was basically a Russian agent. Kind of. But anyways, so he went off the rails, and then our CIA, for whatever reason, they kind of he's on their radar back in the 60s. We could say that here. He was on their radar. So, I don't know. I think there's more to the story that they're not releasing yet. Still, there's a couple thousand more documents that we'll see. But There is one part that I did talk about last night. Again, this came from a pamphlet that was out for decades. Everyone knew about this, but for whatever reason, they kind of like had this classified. This is like a top secret, like classified document. Like this, like the most classified thing in the thing. And it was like this guy saying like, you know, the CIA killed JFK. Which again, I'm not saying that's real. I'm not saying like this proves anything. But there's a CIA agent named Underhill who, according to a leftist outlet in the 60s, he said that the CIA killed JFK. Now, what's fascinating about this is, why is this in the JFK files? Why is this like the most classified thing in the entire document? All the documents, like this is like a top secret thing no one could read or whatever. But the interesting thing is, people look more into it, and apparently this guy, a couple of years later, he shot himself in the back of the head. Gee, I wonder what happened. So I don't know. This whole thing's very sketchy. I'm not saying the CIA did it, but why is this
basically
here?
like the way that I would put it, the like action being covered up isn't necessarily the truthfulness or falsehood of the New Left magazine. This was a very obviously like a Soviet cocksucking brag back in the day. Whether or not they were telling the truth, the feds were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna murder you, dog," and then they murdered him.
Well,
So-
we don't know for sure, but he's right-handed, and he shot himself in the back of his head with his left hand, and his gun ended up on the right side.
I think, like, if you're asking why it's there, I think it's just because the feds are just like a little bit insecure about like their own hit, you know. And I don't know how
I
you
don't
put
know.
it. But yeah, I don't think that like definitively says anything about the CIA, but it definitely says that they kill people. But like, you know, and again, you can not agree with me there, but I just think it was like they saw someone being very problematic and they decided to.
I still think he knew something, and that's why if that's what happened, he knew something. So
yeah.
K-Cup for 2. Dude died by 2 gunshots in the Clinton body shop. Yeah, that's right. He got Clinton before it got cool. Oh god, who's the guy that got? Who's the one in the 90s? Like what? Bill Clinton's best buddies. What's his name again? Oh gosh, there's like a guy in like the 90s that like. Oh, Vince Foster. Yeah, Vince Foster. Yeah, he got killed, or he shot himself. So. Someone ran the document of AI and it says it's fake. It's literally in the it's in the JFK files. So I don't know why people are saying it's fake. It's literally there.
Well, they're pointing. I think people are getting confused because like a lot of people grabbed onto the headline and said, "Oh my gosh, this is proof," and like they didn't realize that it was from the left rag, the new left rag. And so like they were just claiming it was an actual CIA document, and that's why people are saying it's fake. But like it was a real thing that was printed back in the day. It's just that like it doesn't prove the things that people are claiming it proves when you go on the timeline on X. It's that's the thing, and it's worth like reflecting on. It's just not really. It's not the smoking gun that people want it to be, because that's what people are looking for.
Yeah, so I posted last night, like I knew that it came from the New Republic. That's what it says. But it's like, I always found it very sketchy. It's like, why did they make this like a classified like, apparently this was like, you look at the thing. Let me pull this up. Where is it at? I think I actually accidentally, yeah, right here. So the thing about this is like, apparently like this is like one of those classified like symbols, I guess. Like this like very top secret stuff that no one sees at the very top. So I don't know. I guess we'll know more in the next couple days, surely.
What are we talking about?
The JFK files.
Yeah, but
whatever you said, I agree. I don't know what you said, but I agree.
So true, Tyrone.
Well, I just said like there's the original narrative's bullshit. That's what I said. It was bullshit. That doesn't mean like I think Oswald was involved, obviously. But, like, there's some weird documents where it's, like, apparently that the Russians were saying, like, oh, this guy's a shitty shot or whatever. It's, like, one of the pages... yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because, like, the whole bad shot thing, that was a claim that was made, but you have to remember that, Oswald was a Marine sharpshooter.
That's true.
And that was something that, like, my girlfriend like kept like rambling about last night. She was just like, "Why are people bringing up the bad shot narrative? Because he was obviously very well trained and blah blah blah." So yeah, no, it's really we're not really doubting his capacity to shoot Kennedy in the head. Although I will say, like when you talk about the angles of the shots and stuff and everything, like it had like 6 contact points, I think.
Yeah.
Like through the bodies. That is pretty insane. And so second shooter, whatever conspiracy, I'm not ruling that out.
I still believe there's a second shooter. I think there's a second one.
I think there was a single shooter. I think it was a mafia member. I don't think LBJ. Honestly, I used to think LBJ was involved, but after actually reading about LBJ, reading about the circumstances of the Kennedy administration and the things surrounding it with the intelligence community and the mafia, my honest belief is that the intelligence community was not involved, but at the same time, certain elements within it who disliked Kennedy for bungling Cuba simply allowed it to happen, which this has been a thing with the intelligence community for the longest time. Like even since the revolution, believe it or not, since the American Revolution, we've had an intelligence community. They've always been willing to go against the president for certain things. Hold on, wait a second.
All right, Save Slayer for 5. On the CIA, I think it's important to remember that the assassination occurred at the height of the Cold War. This was an embarrassment for the CIA. Yeah, it was. Again, my opinion right now is, Oswald did it. All right, but we don't. We don't know the full story yet.
Well, the primary thing that I take from it, this is one of the narratives, and this is the thing I believe the most strongly, is that very simply, like Oswald wanted to be the cool kid for the Russians, and the Russians just weren't really interested in him. He needed to like prove himself in some way. And so, they set him on his way, and they're like, "Hey, if you manage to do this whole thing with the Kennedy, that'd be pretty cool." And and then he goes and he does it to impress the Soviets. And and in a way, the way that I see that is the reason that's so scandalous and why the CIA has to like closely defend that information is because based off of how the story is spun by the news outlets, it's basically, oh well, Russia killed the president.
No,
Russia killed the president. Well, no. Like what I'm saying is they could spin Oswald killing the president into Russia killed the president because of Oswald's connections to the USSR. And that's like, I think that's like the main thing that like they really just wanted to desperately avoid that business day. Like, and for the reason that the super chatter said, it's just really embarrassing for the CIA.
Yeah. A glitch EV for 5. One of the things I was reading last night for the files was a 116-page interrogation of a KGB unit. Yeah, so what I think happened was he had ties with the KGB and stuff, but he wasn't like ordered to do this. And he was like,
he wasn't ordered, but he was just like, I'm gonna go do this, and the Russians are like, oh, cool.
Yeah, have fun.
I'm also going to say this: if you know anything about the American Mafia, especially during the 50s and 60s, the American Mafia was actually most of the American Mafia they weren't exactly pro-Soviet, but they were willing to work with the Soviets, especially the New Orleans Mafia cell, which both Ruby and Oswald had very deep connections to. My unfiltered take is that the Mafia did it, and certain elements of the CIA, which knew beforehand, were completely willing or were completely okay with it. And whether or not the Soviet Union was involved, definitely isn't irrelevant, but is much less pronounced than what it probably is.
So speaking of Jack Ruby, there was something that, like, I don't know if we knew about this for years, but apparently the documents, it says that Oswald and Ruby met at a nightclub weeks before JFK got shot. Because they knew each other. At least they met.
Yeah, you go look at this. You go look at the circumstances surrounding the New Orleans Mafia. Or sorry, the New Orleans Mafia. You go look at not Kennedy. You go look at Oswald and Ruby's connections to the New Orleans Mafia. It is, and keep in mind, I could go on all fucking day about this, but my big thing is LBJ was not involved.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way the intelligence community would let the nominally anti-Vietnam candidate take over the pro, because Keep in mind, LBJ was anti-Vietnam. LBJ was generally anti-war. Of the many things JFK, or of the many things that LBJ was, he was relatively anti-war. He did not approve of Korea.
So it makes no fucking sense on a foreign policy and on a domestic policy issue. LBJ just did the same shit that Kennedy was going to do.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah.
And we can argue, like, it made it worse because Johnson had all the sympathy crap. You're like, oh, this is for JFK.
Yeah.
So, and that's why, like, I read more of the files. I think what happened was elements of the CIA, they were like, whatever. JFK can go away. We don't care. Let's see. Jackson for 5. Everyone was making a big deal with the Gary Underhill document last night. The story's been out for years. Yeah, but what made a big deal is, like, the CIA was classifying it and stuff. It's like, again, it doesn't mean anything. It just means, like, they knew. They knew about it. It's like, why are they making a big deal about this? Why are they having the documents? American Nerd for 5. I do think some of the theories are plausible, like the second shooter one, but I think we should take all these with a grain of salt, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not even saying, like, there's for sure a second shooter, but I think, personally, I think there was one. But we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
M for 20. Michael Franzi, former Mafia, whose dad was high-ranking, always said that's what he's heard. The Mafia was angry that they got JFK elected by Reagan in Chicago, but then RFK went after them regardless. I think that's probably the most plausible thing. It's always the Mafia, because wasn't it, like, going to be a big scandal against the Kennedys with the Mafia? I always heard, like, there's some like, a big bombshell was going to drop before he got shot or something. I don't know for sure, but...
I guess something like that, or, like, I don't know, his relationship with Marilyn Monroe.
True.
Keep in mind, the boss of the New Orleans Mafia at the time, Carlos Marcello, he was directly prosecuted by Robert F. Kennedy when he was the Attorney General.
Ah, okay,
and then he was deported to Guatemala, re-imported back to New Orleans, and then deported again for having a false Guatemalan birth certificate.
Okay, I completely missed this, but Walk Talk just, like, put a truth bomb into the chat. JFK files showed JFK is dead and not currently alive.
Wow.
Did any of you guys catch this?
Oh, he's dead?
Shut the fuck up, Blockball.
Jeez. Keiko for 5. For the sake of discussion, say LBJ was involved. Does anything happen? Obviously, we can't take away the fact he was president, but does anything happen? His legacy would be dead if he actually was involved.
People need to read into just how involved labor unions were with the Mafia and Soviets, and how they all had a generally overlapping intelligence network, and how that allowed Oswald to get away with what he did.
Yeah, so that's what I think it confirms. It confirms we have so much... I mean, it's not... It shows what's wrong with the labor unions. It shows what's wrong with the intelligence agencies. And JFK was onto something. And then, yeah. Anyways. Polite Rude Guy...
No, I mean, I still think JFK was a fucking terrible president. Don't get me wrong.
Anyways, Polite Rude Guy for 2. Excuse me. Ignore the liberal judges. Trump could run in 28. Oh, gosh. Thomas Baker for 2. Jack Anderson thought the Mafia killed JFK. Yeah, so the more I'm hearing about this, JFK was probably whacked by the Mafia. But at the same time, he had ties with the Soviets in Cuba.
I think the most likely and plausible and arguably realistic explanation is that the Mafia, through the labor unions and their intelligence apparatuses, not like the intelligence community, but their intelligence gathering operations, the New Orleans Mafia set Oswald up, and Ruby was involved, and the Soviets and the Soviet Union and the American intelligence agencies knew about it to an extent, but didn't really give a shit because they just brushed it off. They were very clearly not taking him seriously. The Soviets were like, "You're not cool. I mean, if you're going to do it, that would be funny, but we don't think you're going to do it, and we think you're kind of poopy." And the American intelligence community was just like, "Well, no, of course some random schizo would never fucking, oh shit, JFK's head just got blown off, oh shit."
That's probably what happened. But, like, that's
like the fucking Mafia. It's always the fucking Mafia.
It's like the more you
read
this,
Italians. With Italians, you lose. No, I'm kidding. I love Italians. Yeah, love you, Italian Americans.
That's what I've got in all this, like the documents that shows he had ties with other countries, but it was not that it wasn't the Soviets saying, "Yeah, go do it." Like
what I'm really interested in is why the fuck any mention of the Israeli intelligence services are redacted.
That's what I want. No, now I want to clear up one thing. These aren't now. what happened was these were previously redacted files, okay? And they, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but they cut out any mention of the Israeli foreign agents, intelligence agencies. But it's unclassified now. We saw it. It's not like, oh, it's all redacted. No, these were redacted. Now they're not. Why were they redacting that? Why?
Someone play that one song from the Kirby Air Raiders OST that sounds like a Jewish song.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
But no, it's like,
Okay.
what is there other documents that they have? They're just.
I mean, they released 99% of the documents. I imagine the 1% of the documents are probably just name-heavy documents.
Well, no, apparently there's like a third of documents still out there. They haven't released yet. Because there's 60,000 they've released so far, and there's like 80,000 total. So
Honestly, quite incredible, isn't it?
all right, Rap, what's your opinion on the Secret Service take JFK's body to D.C. over the objections of the Dallas Medical Examiner and Texas state law? I don't
Texas,
know.
what happened?
So apparently, like, the documents say, like, the Secret Service, they took JFK's body to D.C., but the Dallas Medical Examiner and Texas state law said no. They objected to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does
I'm not gonna lie, the past few days, whenever I hear the word Texas law, I think of that one fucking. I don't know if anyone pays attention. I know John knows about this. That one Texas Senate bill.
Oh, like the anime thing?
Yeah, which, like, that's not what it does. And people who think that's what it does are stupid. And
Yeah,
I can explain it.
that's not what it does.
I can explain it in depth if people want me to, but I'm going to assume most of the chat doesn't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, basically it's the anime. It's like a bill that goes after. Yeah.
It's a bill. Okay, so more or less, for those who are unaware, hold on. Actually, let me pull up my little tangent in my server. I went on about.
Well, there's a bill that also goes after furries in schools, so there's that.
No, that's a separate bill.
That's a real thing, by the way, Rap.
By the way, the Texas House yesterday passed a bill that that Abbott's expected to sign. That's going to allow her prayers and the Ten Commandments to be displayed in public education again.
All right. K-Cup for 2. Snake casually getting spotted live on stream. Is that what that's from? I hear like a weird sound in the background. Is that what that's from?
I guess.
M for 2. At the very least, Jack Ruby was mafia affiliated. Oh yeah, he was. He was.
By the way, did you see the poll from Kornacki I just sent?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. Jake Holly for 5. Rap, page 63 of the archives burn up. I don't think I really can't because the stream thing's awkward. But yeah, I'll look it up after the stream. But yeah, so what's this poll right here?
Oh, it's basically white people.
White people. Oh yeah, that explains it. Well, that explains it. White women with a college degree. The bane of our existence. So basically what this poll is showing, like, the opinion of each person. Trump, Vance, Musk, etc. And look at the group that hates Trump and Vance and Musk the most. White women with a college degree. And I guarantee...
You know the funny thing is, though, is that among the white women with a college degree, there's still a net negative disapproval of the Democratic Party.
Look at this! Oh my gosh!
-4.
Yeah. Polite rude guy for 2. Impeach Justice Roberts for violating Article 3, Section 1. I mean, yeah. At this point, you're not going to get it to work. So, let's try. DEI plus 31. It's a cold.
Yeah, plus 31 for DEI, plus 53 for Zelensky. -35 for Republicans, -39 for Doge, -40 for Elon Musk.
This is freaking
nuts. -38 for both Trump and Vance.
Yeah, and like I find it funny that even white women hate the Democrat Party now. They freaking hate them.
I mean, that might be like there's probably like younger white women that.
Oh
are,
yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
Like communists, but
they're
that's
like,
probably...
oh no, the Democrat Party is not AOC clones. All right, Ruby was excused from testifying in front of Congress in 1947 for Richard Nixon. I did not know that. What is that sound in the background? Is that you, Tyrone?
Oh, sorry, I'm listening to the Metal Gear Solid 2
Oh.
soundtrack.
I just don't want to get copyrighted. All right, sorry.
No, I turned it down. I turned it down.
Thank you. The Dallas Medical's argument was that the assassination is classified as a homicide in Texas, and according to state law, required an autopsy. And the body couldn't leave the state until after that. I did not know that. But it's a president, they were like, fuck you. That's probably what happened. We can do what we want. Alright, and speaking of the JFK things, there was one thing Luna posted last night. It's kind of cryptic. So she said that according to them, there was a whistleblower that allegedly that the CIA hid information from Congress referencing the JFK assassination as it implicated them. I'm not saying this is real, but apparently there's a document out there that it implicates the CIA, which I'm not confirming, but that's what Luna said last night. So, Jacob Hawley for 50. Holy crap, that's a big one. There was a general from World War II who was stationed at the Pentagon and was friends with the Joint Chiefs and CIA Director Alan Dulles, who fled D.C. after JFK was eliminated. He told friends and family CIA took out JFK. He was eliminated 2 months later. Yeah, the Underhill stuff. Which, yeah, that doesn't confirm anything, but very interesting. Thanks for the super chat, good sir. Thanks for the good super chat. Didn't Ruby die from cancer? I don't know. How did he die? Cancer? I don't know.
I think cancer, yeah.
You know the funniest thing?
I think the most amusing thing to me is that deep in the files, no one seems to have posted this. Here, I'll post it. Basically, there are multiple interviews with former SS officers working intelligence and science apparatuses in the American government during the 50s that claimed Hitler was still alive.
Wait, what?
Yeah, here, I just posted a screenshot of one of the pages.
No freaking way. There's no... Is this actually the documents?
Yes. 3 October 1955. On 29 September 1955, 783 reported the following. Neither 783 nor the station is in a position to give an intelligence evaluation of the information and is being forwarded its possible interest. Blank was contacted 29 September 55 by a trusted friend who served under his command in Europe and is currently residing in Caraballo. Blah, blah, blah. Prefer not to reveal that interview's friend. Said friend stated that during the latter part of September 1955, a Philip something, former German SS trooper, stated to him confidentially that Hitler is still alive. He claimed to have contacted Hitler about a month in Colombia on his trip from Maracaibo to that country as an employer of the Royal Dutch Shipping Company in Maracaibo. Citroen introduced a friend that he took a picture with Hitler not too long ago, but did not show the photograph. He also stated that Hitler left Colombia for Argentina around January 1955. Person commented that in as much as 10 years have passed since the end of World War II, the Allies could no longer prosecute Hitler as a criminal of war. And then they apparently got a copy of the photo, and it's on the second page.
Is this real?
Yeah, so there's an off chance Hitler may have actually escaped to Colombia.
What the
after World War II.
I thought the rumor was Argentina.
Yeah, he escaped. I didn't say he didn't move to Argentina. I said he escaped from Germany to Colombia. Then
my
to
question
Argentina.
is, do you know what page this is? By any
It's
chance?
in the top right.
All right. So there's a non-zero. Oh my! Why is the JFK files? Why is
Wait, it's in the JFK files? What?
Yeah.
Did they just say, fuck it, throw this in there? No one will notice. No one will notice.
Well, actually, the second shooter was Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, it's just
so
like
true.
his old ass. He's like 80 years old or whatever. It's like his final thing. All right, Billy McJobic for 2. The Argentina theory might be real. I gotta look more into this. That looks fake. There's no way. It does. The picture looks kind of fake, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's real. I don't know.
It's like probably a lookalike or something, like a doppelganger.
Well, at the very least, guys, it's a good day to be proud of your great grandfather from Argentina. It's a great day to be proud of that.
Someone's like awake
Seeing
right
your
now.
Hitler.
Oh my gosh. So there's I just really love the fact that like some guy like this has nothing to do with JFK. They're like, fuck it, throw this in there. Why not? No one's gonna notice. There's just no way. I mean, it's possible, I guess. David Pakman's grandfather. Oh my gosh. Adam Hilt.
There was a piece of news I don't think we had a chance to really talk about, and if I'm having a dementia moment, you can let me know. But this came out while we were streaming yesterday. It was that the new RNC financial chairman
is Vance.
We did not talk about this actually.
We did not. Yeah.
This is interesting. This has never happened before.
Which, by the way, RNC finance chair directly controls where money flows to in races. So Vance directly controls what money flows to House Republican and Senate campaigns now. Not Mitch McConnell, not the Senate or House committee chairman. Vance controls where the money goes.
Yes. So you're telling me
Trump controls the finances of the Republican Party at this point through Vance, which, by the way, in case it wasn't fucking obvious, he is directly setting Vance up to take control of this shit himself.
Well, it's not just that. It's not just that he's making him the successor. Vance basically just gets to choose who's part of his government if he wins in 28. That's the concept of that. That's really insane to me.
Yeah. So
great news for Masters.
Great news for Masters. Man, I'm so sad about Masters. I'm still pissed off by that one, but freaking McConnell. What a bitch. Anyways.
Look, is there... All I'm saying is that Vance could do something very funny with throwing money Masters' way.
I don't think Masters going to run again. I don't think so. I like him, but I don't know. He got screwed. Freaking Carrie Lake.
I think Vance needs to talk Trump into letting him send money to Andy Biggs in Arizona.
Freaking, well, now, I mean, I think Trump gives him the full approval, whatever he does. So, I do think, though, this is a big win because...
You're vindicated. I'll admit you're vindicated on, that whole thing, because I didn't know Karen Taylor Robeson would be running, a single-issue anti-abortion campaign. I don't know what she's doing.
I told you! I freaking told you, Luke! She was gonna run on some shitty issue that was gonna sink her campaign. I told you this!
I thought her single issue now was just that she got the Trump endorsement.
That but abortion. That and abortion.
Yeah, that and abortion for some reason.
I told you, Luke. That's all. She runs a shit campaign. You gotta get behind Andy Biggs now. Admit it.
I will. I reluctantly am backing Biggs.
Yeah.
Based.
Play Rude Guy for 2. Vance does not get the endorsement for 28. Dude, Vance is gonna be the nominee,
bro.
Actually,
for people who think Donald Trump Jr. is still gonna run, I literally went to an event Monday where he spoke, and he literally said he wants Vance to run in 2028.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh, but Trump thinks Vance is a rhino. He's on the backseat.
It's a great conspiracy by Vance. He got Trump Jr. to say that.
Stances, I don't know what the...
But yeah, so
I'm never gonna get over that article. I think it was from Medium or whatever, where they posted an actual quote from Donald Trump Jr. calling them, the outlet, effing retarded.
Yeah,
so funny.
Well, I mean, this outlet has these bullshit. They have source. They don't have sources. They're full of shit. That's what they are. They make sure when they say sources, yeah, they're full of shit. But what actually happened was they made it up and said Trump Jr. hates JD Vance and he's gonna run for president. If Trump Jr.'s like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who's your sources? It's always these...
My sources I made it the fuck up.
It's always these anonymous sources. Not
just...
I
made him vice president for a reason, you fucking retard.
Yeah. Yeah, Trump doesn't... Guys, Trump does not want to run again. He does not want to run again. This is it for him. He wants to spend time with his family. He's, 82 after this?
Yeah.
Let the man have a life. He did a lot. Let him retire. I'm going to play golf all the time.
I mean, I've always thought this was a really ideal situation where a younger guy can ask Trump for advice if he needs help finishing a deal or an agreement with another country, and all Trump really has to do is be someone that can be consulted over the phone for an hour or two. I think that's way preferable for someone who's going to be 83 years old than having to run the country, bro.
Yeah. Andy Biggs is not conservative. What? He's a Rand Paul Lolbert. What the hell are you talking about?
Me when I
Because
pull shit out of my
Freedom
ass in my
Caucus
own
or something.
mind.
Don Jr. literally recommended. Yeah, Don Jr.'s like, hey, Dad, you gotta support. Get Vance in there. Be your successor. All right. Let's see. I do think with the whole vice president. So Vance in control of the finance now, and for starters, that's already a big upgrade. Now we got someone with a brain in charge, and we got McConnell there. That's gonna be John Thune. That's another big upgrade. And the Democrat Party, they're out of money. Again, when are they going to update us on Act Blue? How much money they raised? Still waiting for that update. Because remember, this is a bunch of times. $6, yeah. They always had, like, they always made a big deal every day they updated. They had $15 million raised, $50 million. But now it's like, they raised like $5. And they're not saying anything. They have no money. All they got left is George Soros, who's starting to run on money himself, because the taxpayer is not paying for his crap now. But it's like, are Democrats just going to run out of money at some point? Are they just going to run out of money?
I mean, evidently they're doing a lot in Wisconsin Supreme Court. Like I saw, they invested like $10 million or something in the last couple weeks. So
yeah, but for Democrat standards, that's kind of low. I know it's a Supreme Court race, but still. They require to publish next week. I'm very curious. How much money did they raise? If it's like $5 or whatever, we'll see. We shall see.
Remember when the Michigan GOP had like $400 in its bank account?
I remember making a video on that. They freaking gave that actor like $100,000. I remember that. That whole saga, like, I remember those videos well. The Michigan like GOP saga. That was terrible. I never want to talk about the party again. Don Jr. might be cringe, but he has amazing political instincts on who to trust. Maybe. I still think there's a decent chance Vance could choose Don Jr. for VP. I don't think so. It's gonna be Rubio. I think it's Vance Rubio.
I think people just misunderstand Don Jr.'s place in like the whole hierarchy. Like, Don Jr. is a Mar-a-Lago contact. He's somebody that you can, buy and sell political influence from. But very specifically, he takes a backseat role. He's deeply involved. He is the most involved child of Trump in these politics. He's more involved than Laura Trump, believe it or not. And I know, Laura's, married to. Anyways, but you get my point. Like Don Jr. Is the most politically active of Trump's biological children. And at the end of the day, he's always going to have like a room in the back, like in places we never see, in places that we never go to. He's going to be important, and I think he does. He's actually a good wheeler and dealer. I think he has good instincts, but he's never going to have like a front man role. He does not have the charisma that his father does. So he's accepted that.
He's more of a silent workhorse type to begin with, anyway. That's his strength.
So we have another Tesla store that was just attacked. And this time in good old Canada. Good old Canada. So you have, oh my gosh, you can't make this up. Take a guess who attacked a Tesla store. What?
That was Montreal. I know there was like they spray painted the engine.
Yep, it's Montreal. It's climate activists attacking a Tesla store.
Climate activists attacking an electric vehicle is definitely one of the things of all time.
Dude, these people have gone off the freaking rails. And like, the funny thing is, they have like this shitty sign here. I want to bring this up. So they hold this shitty sign, and yeah, right here. They say last generation. It's like the shitty thing. It's like, we got 10 years to fix climate change. Do you guys remember? How they've been saying this in the 70s?
I remember how Al Gore said the world would be cooked to death by 2010 if he weren't elected, and he wasn't elected, and then nothing happened, and then Bill Nye in 6th grade told me we had to stop climate change because the world would end by 2015 if we didn't stop climate change, and then 2015 happened and nothing happened. And then Hillary Clinton said the world would end by 2020
I
if she
remember.
was elected to stop climate change,
People
and
can-
then the world ended. Then the world ended in 2020 because the election was stolen by Biden. But
Hey, stop, dude. Anyways,
You
I
can
remember.
make jokes about the election now.
I
It's
guess
allowed
fair
on
enough.
YouTube.
But listen, I remember well in 2019, AOC and Omar, they were on the Capitol steps. They were saying, "We have till 2029 to stop climate change, or else the world's going to end." Now they're saying, "We have till 2035 to end climate change." They always do this. It's always 10 years to the future. Every year it's always 2021, 2022. It never comes. It's bullshit.
Guys, I made this online model. It's like a super scientific model. And this little chart, it says that if you give me ultimate power and control over all of your finances, I'm gonna save the world. Can you guys?
No, guys, the
can you guys
doomsday clock. Remember the
That
doomsday clock?
doomsday clock's full of shit. Those people just want attention. There's nothing better to do in
Yeah.
their lives. All right, anyways. Jacob Hawley for 20. The synopsis of the CIA, last page of the release documents. We now have plenty of money. Our backers are, I don't know where that document's from. I've seen people talk about that. As soon as we take care of the Kennedys, including Bobby. Listen, I've seen the document float around. I don't know if that's real or not, but
Yeah, I'm like actually wondering like where is that? Because I want to see it myself. I have the documents on my computer.
yeah,
Like, show me,
I'll
like,
try to
like,
find it.
where is that? Because I saw that, but I'm just like,
Again, I'm not denying it could be. It might be real. I don't know, but I haven't seen anything. So, Jamar Mustad
Yeah.
for 5 with their beady little eyes,
Well,
flappy mouth so filled with lies. That's real. But yeah, I'm gonna look that document up because I haven't seen it yet. It could be out there. I'm not denying that. I just haven't seen it yet. That doomsday clock is still in front of me. Yeah, that doomsday clock's full of shit. Did they see like we're the closest to the world ending in history or something last night?
Yeah,
Something?
pretty much.
The world's
No,
gonna
and
end
there's the
in a
whole
week.
there's the whole meteor calculator thing too.
That
which,
thing,
like,
guys, it always fluctuates. Oh, it's a 2% chance of hit, and the day later it's down to 0.1%. The guys, I swear they always do that on purpose. They know, like, first of all, how does it change that much in a span of like a day? It goes from 0.001% to 5% or whatever. How does it happen? And the next day it goes back down to 0. How?
Isn't the doomsday clock at like 90 seconds to midnight or
Doomsday
something?
clock's like it's like we're gonna die tomorrow or something.
I'm just waiting for it to be. I'm just waiting for it to be like 1 millisecond to midnight.
I think it already is basically.
Probably so.
The Doomsday again. Those people, they want attention. That's what it comes down to. 2032, here we come. Yeah, 2032, everybody. The meteor's totally gonna hit. It's not. Guys, they always do this shit. They always make it sound, oh, the end of the world. Oh. And speaking of space, we had to talk what happened with Elon Musk. He had a big win last night, or yesterday, as he got those astronauts back home.
Yeah, they're home. The astronauts are home. They got welcomed by dolphins.
And you see Democrats, like, they haven't said a word about that. After saying, Elon Musk's a dumb person. He doesn't do anything for us.
Oh yeah,
Mark Kelly did, but he didn't acknowledge Elon Musk.
MSNBC didn't even cover it taking place.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. Like they refused to cover that. It was the coolest thing. I was watching it on my phone the whole time. And it's like, isn't this the thing that like all of their base is supposed to like be in love with, and you aren't gonna broadcast it because Elon Musk bad?
I want to point something.
I want
to point something out in general with this. I want to point something out in general with this, guys. I've noticed this on Twitter, and I'm sure some of you guys will also have noticed this. There is a growing. What do you call it? There is a growing. I'm trying to find the word. No, I don't want to say movement, but sentiment. There's a growing sentiment of anti-spacism amongst the left, which is hilarious because leftism is what has been historically pushing the pro-space stuff. It's historically been the conservative establishment that's been anti-space, anti-NASA. But now, what we have is, what we have is this, like, we have anti-space leftists because going into space means Musk and Trump are in the right, which is just
it means colonialism or colonizing Mars.
Yeah, it's like the friggin' germs up there. You're gonna kill those poor germs.
By the way, well, yeah, when it came to the astronauts yesterday, the only Democrat I think I saw acknowledge it was Mark Kelly.
Yeah, he's an astronaut, so.
But
Like,
I mean, he acknowledged SpaceX, but he didn't acknowledge Elon Musk.
You know,
And I was sitting there, like, listening to the drop down, and they were like, as they were bringing the astronauts out of the pod, they said something like, "Reminder: they did 900 hours of science up in space." And I was sitting there, like, the way that they phrased it made me laugh, and I'm like, "Bro, is this the most Reddit thing ever? Why isn't Reddit going crazy over
yeah.
it?"
You know, I kind of started watching more of those like space stuff because it's always cool to watch those things. Like when SpaceX sends their shit up there, it's always cool to watch. I might start. Chad, should I start watching those like live? I might.
They're fun.
Yeah, they're cool. Like it's just nice thing to cool like relax with. And I know like the Democrats like they were celebrating it blowing up a couple days ago. It's like it's a risk. It didn't work. So what? Now
Well, they celebrated blowing up because it's a failure on Elon Musk.
But it's like, guys, remember how many people died from the Apollo missions? How many failures we had?
No Challenger.
Or like with like Challenger, yeah.
We blown up like 100 of them or whatever. Like a bunch of
the
people died.
the Challenger, the Columbia.
Yeah, a bunch of people died and like it got blown up. It was embarrassment, but we took risks. We needed.
I mean,
those
literally
risks.
one of the Columbia victims went to my college.
Yeah, so one of these we have to take risks, guys. It's not going to always be a guarantee that. How did we get to the moon? Because we played it safe? No, we took risks on it. So
we are going to go to the moon and do the things.
Yeah.
Not because they're easy, but because they are hard.
JFK said that. K-Cup for 2. World was going to end in 2012 because Mayan calendar. Oh, yeah! 2012, the world's going to end because the Mayans, they don't know anything, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I do think the whole space stuff, like, didn't Musk say he wants to have a seat on Mars in, like, the next 20 years or something?
He really wants to begin, before he dies, like, multiplanetary existence, and so he wants to start a colony on Mars, and because he's, you know, scared of a random event potentially killing all of humanity. But yeah, no, I think like the first mission to Mars was supposed to be attempted before Trump's administration ended, but like what he was like the actual thing, I think, was like 20 years from now or something. I don't know.
We choose to go to Mars in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Because he wants like a city on Mars in like the next 20 years or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so that's his goal. Basically, before he dies, he wants to get people on Mars, like actually living up there. Which someone can sign up for that. I'm not doing it. Good luck.
I know. No, this is also a big issue with Mars. Is that because of like the speed of light, it would take like, I believe, like 5 to 20 minutes for like messages to like get back and forth between Mars and Earth. Just like like instant communication.
All right, I gotta go.
Well, no,
I gotta go. I'm late for class.
Unless they find a way to like move messages faster than the speed of light, because that's how fast the speed of light would move. It would be like,
we'll see.
It would be like a few minutes. Yeah. So.
But I do think though it's like it's a cool mission. Like it's a cool idea. And again, I'm gonna start watching. I think some of those launches now. If you guys are interested, I'll watch them. I watch them sometimes. It's like it's just cool to see. Like, oh yeah, we got space up there. We got stuff up there. And pull us up sometimes.
We got space up there.
Yeah, we got
space and stuff going on.
Yeah,
we
got stuff going on there. Mars City. Oh, Doom 381. That's a reference. That's a good one. Did people at X say the parachutes at SpaceX capsule looked fake? I did not see that. They probably did. They think it's all fake. But yeah, guys. So I think we're on the stream here. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. So, I'll look more at the space stuff. We might start streaming them a bit more. I don't think there's one for a while. I might be wrong, but yeah. All right, we'll see you guys in the next stream, video, or wherever you see us at. Actually, last call for super chats. I'm curious. What is the next SpaceX launch?
There be protesters like just come up to the. There's probably gonna be protesters at the next launch.
Probably. Jacob Holly for 5. Hey, John, I have the document you're wondering about. It's page 64. You want me to DM it to you? Chat won't let me post links.
Page 64.
There was actually Antifa outside of the Charlie Kirk Schimmel rally on Monday.
Bruh. All right. I think we're on the stream here, guys. Smash the like button down below, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back tomorrow and possibly Friday. All right.